So I actually used to do a lot of these Q&As way back 2019. So almost on a weekly basis. Kaya sobrang dami ng mga questions na naipon throughout the years. And then napapansin ko rin yung patterns of ano ba yung mga stuff that people are concerned about. Yan. And the idea is paulit-ulit lang yung mga problema ng mga tao. Okay? Um, Kaso kapag mag-isa lang tayo in the journey, hindi natin alam na paulit-ulit lang pala yung mga problema na yung mga nararanasan pala natin, nararanasan din ng ibang tao. So, malamang sa malamang kung ano man yung mga problema na meron ka ngayon, okay? Mga 9 out of 10 times narinig ko na yung problema na yan. And mga 7 out of 10 times na solusyonan na namin with another person yung problem na yun. Okay? So, that's about 6 years worth of data. And that's what you have access to right now with this session. Okay? Imbis na trabahuhin mo pa yung mga bagay for 6 years bago mo ma-figure out, baka naman mapabilis natin yung process. Mali mo 5 years na lang instead of 6. So, the room is now open for any questions that you have. Ayan, nilalakasan ko na lang yung boses ko right now. Nararamdaman niyo ba yung pinagkaiba ng lakas ng boses ko ngayon? Okay, so kailangan ko na lang i-modulate yung boses ko and this will be energy draining. Baka hindi na ako makapag-basketball mamaya. Pero at least na-workout yung lalamunan ko. Okay? So, yeah, you can send questions via chat. Pwede nyong i-send sa akin anonymously, okay, via chat. Or pwede rin naman na ibato nyo na kagad kahit nakikita ng ibang tao. Okay, yung question. Okay, so the floor is open for any question. Sabi ni Liz, I think you can speak in your normal speaking voice. Pag normal speaking voice ko, ganito siya. Pag kailangan ko i-modulate, ganito. Which is halos wala namang pinagkaiba sa akin on the effort part, yung volume lang talaga. Hindi ko alam kung anong dating sa inyo eh, pero okay lang rin sa akin para ako nag-host ng TV show at this point. Okay, sige. So, the floor is open. This is a Q&A session. So, Q muna yung mauuna bago yung A. Okay? So, walang sagot kung walang tanong. Or gusto niyo ba sumagot na ako tapos hulaan niyo yung tanong? Okay, sige game. Bato na kayo ng mga tanong niyo sa buhay. That's what a Q&A is for. Pero syempre meron
Um,
dito. Sige, go on yun.
Parang align dun sa na-share mo. Parang I want to start a project wherein I want to ask people questions. Parang getting to know. Parang project ko siya na i-ambush ko siya. Like, ambush.
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah,
ano,
wordplay,
yeah.
wordplay.
Yeah, and I'm kinda, sometimes kasi, di ba, may mga conversations that we can start with someone na parang to get to know them. Parang hindi ko alam kung ano yung, parang
Yeah,
can you give me a tip lang how will I,
yes. Unahan
yeah,
na kitaan.
structure it?
Alam ko na saan papunta to. Okay.
Mm.
So, ang kailangan mo is what we call a format. Okay? So, yung idea kasi with mga expert interviewers, di ba, yung mga tipong Boy Abunda, ganyan, o kaya mga, sa America, sino ba yun? Si Larry, or, di ko alam. Basta, anyway, tingnan mo yung mga late night shows and all that. Meron silang signature format. Okay? Na they have, quick, kunyari, kay Boy Abunda, fast talk. Di ba? Okay? So, a format is what you need. Okay? Now, yung format na yun, you can just stick to it and pwede pa rin naman yung mag-evolve over time. Pero yun yung initial na kailangan mo. Ano bang format? Okay? Ang madalas nagiging bottleneck dyan is pinag-iisipan kagad kung ano yung topic. Pinag-iisipan kagad kung ano yung magiging laman ng conversation. Hindi. Ang kailangan mo pag-isipan is yung space at structure ng conversation. Hindi mo kailangan kontrolin yung actual content ng conversation from the start. Okay? So if you think in topics, nakakulong na yun eh. You're trying to control the situation. If you think in formats, nagkikreate ka lang ng space for an actual conversation na natural lang lumalabas. Depende sa interaction mo with a person. Kung mas marami kang similarities with a person na mas maraming differences, mag-iiba yung timpla ng conversation. Pero yung space for conversation, format talaga yung mas kailangan mo. Okay? So you can look at if you want to be inspired, look at different role models na mga nag-i-interview. Ano bang format yung tingin mo pasok sa'yo, na enjoy mo, gusto mong banatan, gusto mong i-test? There's different things for you to research about and then identify yung format. Pwede rin naman na kapag meron ka ng enough data, create a format of your own. Okay? Pero at least yun yung next steps na kailangan mo. Buuin mo yung format and then just invite people na game sa ganong klase ng format of conversation. If you ask enough people, there's gonna be enough people rin who would say yes to that format. I have what I call nakalimutan ko yung tawag actually, pero may ninja yun sa pangalan eh. So it's a 15-minute call na merong bato-ba topic. So yung kausap ko, magbabato-ba topic kami 3 times. Before kami mag-hop on a call, may pinrepare na siyang 3 questions para sa akin. May pinrepare na rin akong 3 questions para sa kanya. Tapos during the live, FB live to FB live. So pag nag-FB live kami, magbabato-ba topic kami on screen pero merong onting delay. Pero gagawin pa rin namin. Tapos kung sino yung mananalo, yun yung magtatanong ng question. Okay? That's what you call an example of a format. And yung format na yun, trip ko lang yun. Okay? So kahit sinong tao yun, hindi, I was just inviting kahit sinong tao. Hindi experts in any field, hindi whatever. Okay? So, yeah, format.
Ayun, so how not to overthink the format. Sure.
No, research.
Research.
Research. Tingin ka na ng iba't ibang klase ng formats and stuff. And then, kung ano yung nag-resonate sa'yo, just list it down. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? How do you differentiate yung healthy overthinking and sobra na? Eh, di ba nga overthinking na yun? So, parang, over na yun eh. Sobra na yun in the first place eh. Okay. Now, meron pang overthinking, ganun, versus overthinking lang. Or super overthinking, ganun. But yeah, I actually get what you mean here. Okay? Kailan siya pwedeng maging useful versus it's a waste na, no, of your resources, no, yung oras mo, yung energy mo, attention mo. So what's the purpose of overthinking? No, you can think of it like a time machine. Okay? Ang overthinking is nagta-travel ka sa future. Okay? Tapos dahil nag-travel ka sa future, edi alam mo na kung ano yung magiging, pag tumaya ka sa loto, di ba? Alam mo na yung magiging winning number, ganyan. So, like, you can look at it na parang lahat ng mga advancements, ganyan. Pumunta ka sa future, like time machine mode talaga. Okay? Ang problema, kapag nag-overthink ka, or for usual overthinkers, we don't know how to get back to the present. So, nag-time machine tayo papunta sa future, tapos di na natin alam paano babalik. Therefore, lahat ng na-discover natin na para sa future, hindi natin magamit for actual transformation, for actual choices, for actual change. Okay? So, ang kailangan natin is a device or a go-to strategy how to get back into the present. Advantage ang overthinking kung makakabalik ka. Pero disadvantage siya kung may stuck ka sa future. Because you can only live life in the now. Okay? So, that being said, wait a sec. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, that being said, ano yung quick way para makabalik sa present? Kung you find yourself or you catch yourself overthinking and then nai-stuck ka na sa overthinking mo, paano ka makakabalik? Okay? So, just a few prompts. We human beings think in timelines talaga. Malinaw naman sa atin yung past, present, future. Alam natin kung ang tumatakbo sa isip natin is tungkol sa nakaraan, tungkol sa ngayon, o tungkol sa mga bagay na mangyayari pa lang. Okay? So, madali yan. Like, if you ask yourself, past-oriented ba itong iniisip ko? Future-oriented ba to? Present-oriented ba to? Okay? But you look at keywords na papunta sa present. Those are trigger words. Okay? Or words that will pull you back into the proper timeline. Okay? So yung word na now, okay, now. Okay, yung word na next. Okay? So these are things that get you back into, okay, next action step. Something I must do now. Ano yung choice ko now? Okay? That gets you back into the present real quick. Okay? One of my favorite questions is it identifies the atomic action. Okay? So, the single smallest step that I must do now. Okay? So, if I find myself overthinking, okay, with all this overthinking, what is the next single smallest step that I must do now? So, that translates me back into ano na ngayon. Okay? So, yung overthinking ko, useful siya. Okay? So, that's one way, like a very quick, effective way, but meant for testing. Okay? If you find yourself overthinking, get back to the present. You can also build your own systems, iba't ibang ways to get back into the present. Ano yun? Yung sinasabi ko is word, yung trigger, di ba? Pero meron ding ibang mga stuff na pwedeng mag-remind sa'yo na, okay, I need to live in the present. Okay? Some people get a tattoo. Na pag nakikita nila yung tattoo na yun, like, ang dating sa kanila, oo nga pala, I can only live in the now. Some people, pinipaint nila yung bahay nila in a different color because that color represents now. Okay? Some people, may whiteboard na nasa office, ganyan. Yan. Some people, yung asawa mo, tatakan mo ng now sa noo, di ba? Para every time makikita mo, you can be reminded na now. So, everything that pulls you back to the present makes use of your overthinking. So, dahil nag-overthink tayo, hindi naman natin maiwasan talaga, gamitin na lang natin. Pero magagamit lang natin in the present. Game follow-up questions. Go, go, go. Di tayo maubos yung oras natin. Dahil pa natin pwede pag-usapan. Huwag na kayo mag-overthink. Ano yung questions nyo now? Okay, so probably you're here in a Q&A. Walang reason yan eh. Like, sana mayroong magtanong nung gusto kong itanong para hindi na ako yung magtanong, di ba? Mayroong mga gano'n, parang naghihintayan lang tayo, nagkakapaan pa tayo, may tanong ka naman talaga pero ayaw mo lang na ikaw yung magtanong, 'di ba? So, puwede mo i-send anonymously. Hindi ko re-reveal yung pangalan mo, hindi ko i-de-describe kung naka-video on ka o hindi. Now, meron din naman dito na wala ka talagang tanong. So, nag-aabang ka pa ng, "Ano kayang puwedeng mangyari dito? Ano kayang nandito sa Q&A? Ano kayang 'pag nasagot sa question ng ibang tao, may lilitaw na tanong sa buhay?" Okay. Now, if you don't have a question, try to think about this. Ano yung something in your life you want to change? Ano yung something in your life na hindi ka satisfied with? Ano yung something in your life na alam mong kapag, okay, 'pag na-improve 'to, mas magiging masaya ako. Okay. And it doesn't have to be yung perfect na saya, yung tipong sasayaw-sayaw ka na, 'di ba? Ta's parang parang sumasabay sa'yo yung mga hayop, yung mga aso, mga manok, gano'n. Parang kumakanta na kayong lahat. Doesn't have to be that kind of happiness. Okay, pero just a little bit better, okay? Ayan. There's another question. What would you tell someone who always feels helpless in their situation? Stressed sa family pero di makapag-move out. Okay, that's a good example. There's a lot of other ano pa, iba't ibang circumstances wherein we actually feel helpless. Um, okay, mahalaga na factor if nagre-recur siya. Okay, paulit-ulit ba yung ganitong sitwasyon? Okay? Or meron lang something na nangyari tapos now you feel that way. Okay? Magkaiba kasi yung approach na yun. Okay? So, if it's something na paulit-ulit nangyayari and then the person can't figure it out, that person actually needs a support system. May intervention na kailangan mangyari doon. Hindi niya na talaga yun kaya mag-isa at hindi niya na kailangan pilitin pa. Okay? So, ang question lang is, gaano kadalas to nangyayari? Okay? Pag sinabi niya sa akin, feeling ko, always helpless ako eh. Okay? Then I would say, okay, gawa natin ng paraan. Huwag mo tong suluhin. Tanggapin na kagad natin na dahil paulit-ulit to, hindi mo na to basta kaya mag-isa. So kailangan natin tong tutukan, kailangan natin tong pag-usapan, kailangan natin tong hanapan ng solusyon. We can't leave you na ganito pa rin yung sitwasyon. We need to do something about this. We, that's the keyword, we. Okay? You gotta convince that person na, hey, huwag mo tong suluhin. I-share natin yung burden. May pwede tayong gawin dito, pero only if we're gonna work on it together. Okay? Now, kung sakali naman na yung sitwasyon niya is parang may nag-trigger lang and hindi naman ganun yung recurring, that person can probably figure that out. Kumbaga, hindi kailangan ng intervention. Kaya nang gawan niyo ng paraan lalo na if it's like hindi naman ganun kadalas. Okay, or just that timing lang or season lang sa buhay niya. Okay. Any follow-up questions to this? Pag-isipan niyo yung mga pinagdadaanan ninyo na yung feeling helpless, pwede kasing isang area lang yan of life. 'Di ba? Puwedeng kunyari, okay ka naman sa family, okay ka naman sa personal health, tas ang feeling mo helpless ka lang business. Okay? Puwede rin naman na overall 'yan, na buong buhay talaga you feel helpless. So medyo mas malala 'yun, 'di ba? Now, meron tayong kailangang pansinin with the patterns, okay? And then nag-iiba rin yung approach depende dun sa patterns na 'yun. Follow-up question, Liz. Go ahead, you can type it in or unmute. Meron ba?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Coach. Good afternoon.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, wait. Ano nangyari?
Sorry, may nagsalita kasi.
Sige, go lang, go lang.
Tapusin ko lang yung sa question ko na follow-up question about dun sa feeling helpless in their situation. Can you also share yung advice specifically for the people na stressed sila sa work or toxic work environment pero they kind of feel stuck kasi they need to pay the bills or parang they can't stop working until they find another job ganyan. Pero naubos na yung energy kasi nila sa current work nila because of the toxic environment. So parang medyo stuck sila.
Great. Okay, sige. So there's two sides to this. Okay? Kung stuck ka sa isang sitwasyon na hindi ka basta makaalis, pero nauubos ka mismo nung sitwasyon na yun. There's two common scenarios bakit ka nauubos. Okay? One is wala kang ibang ginagawa outside of that current thing that replenishes you. Okay? Kumbaga, kung stress ka sa work, kailangan di ka na nagpupuyat. Kailangan kumakain ka ng maayos. Kailangan may daily movement ka in exercise. Kailangan nagka-cuddle ka with your love partner. Di ba? Kailangan meron kang mga ginagawa na bagay to distress. Meron kang passion projects na pwedeng isingit kahit maliliit lang. Because if all you have is stress sa work and then walang ibang sumasalo sa'yo, sumusuporta sa'yo, mauubos ka talaga. Okay? So that's one. Okay? People get, kumbaga, drained with one specific area of responsibility na toxic kasi walang balanse na ibang part ng buhay nila dun sa sitwasyon nila. Okay? Now, the other side is it is a lack of skill of handling a toxic environment. Now, here's the thing. A lot of things are not toxic. Nililabel lang natin sila na toxic kapag hindi natin alam kung ano yung gagawin with the situation. Okay? Now, paano mo mapapractice yung skill to handle a difficult situation? Kailangan mong ma-immerse sa isang sitwasyon na mapapractice mo yung actual skill. Kung wala yung toxic situation, wala kang way para ma-practice how to handle a toxic situation. Okay? So, ang tanong dito, wala kang choice. Hindi ka makakaalis. Di ba? So, you actually need to just look for the opportunities na meron ka. One, ano yung iba mong pwedeng gawin in life para ma-replenish ka and you have better capacity to handle the toxic situation? Or yung pangalawa is, tingnan mo kung ano yung mapapractice mo na skill in handling that toxic situation. Ibig sabihin nito, you can complain because complaining is a waste of time. Kung wala kang choice, i-accept mo na at embrace mo na yung sitwasyon and then make the most out of it. Okay? The context, wala ka kasing choice. Hindi mo basta mabitawan. So gamitin mo na. Matuto ka ng skill in handling toxic people and situations and ayusin mo yung mga pwede mong little things na ayusin in life so that hindi ka mauubos ng tuluyan. Mare-recharge ka at mare-replenish ka. Does that make sense as an answer?
Yes, thank you.
Meron bang follow-up? Think we're good? When do you allow outside capital to fund your business? Here's the thing. Yung isang venture, so iba-iba kasi yung definition ko pa dyan. A venture is, hindi pa talaga yung negosyo. Okay? Ang negosyo is kapag kumikita na siya. Okay? So gusto ko lang i-differentiate yun. Any person can create a venture. Okay? But not because may venture tayo, may attempt tayo, ibig sabihin we have created a business na. Okay? So a business has a track record of profits. Okay? Kung wala pa yung track record of profits, it is actually kind of a fake it till you make it vibe kung i-label natin siya as a business. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Kailangan dapat mag-accept ng outside capital. Tricky kasi kailangan una, profitable ka na. Okay? And then, kailangan mo lang na mag-accept ng outside capital kapag meron kang growth that you want to fund, kumbaga, a level of growth that you want to fund, na meron ka ng ebidensya na it's gonna work. Okay? So, there's higher demand for your products or services, pero kulang na yung way mo to supply that demand. Okay? So, marami naghahanap ng product and services, pero kulang yung pondo mo para i-expand yung business mismo. Okay? Now, you can accept outside capital if over yung demand, little yung supply, and kulang yung funds mo. There are other criteria to that kasi may mga standards ka pa and yung pag-uusapan niyo pa yung rates and all that. Pero that's the only point na safe, okay, na mag-accept ng outside capital. Now, here's the thing. There's two types of investors. Meron mga investors na they do it for the profit. So, mga venture capitalists, di ba? Like, mag-i-invest talaga sila kasi gusto nilang kumita. Okay? However, there are also investors that's in it as a strategic investor. Okay? One example would be, kunyari ako, nag-invest ako, okay? And then lahat ng mga ini-investan ko is about green like advocacy. So mga related to nature, ganyan, like animal preservation, all of these things. Okay? Mga pet industry, whatever. Okay? So pwedeng hindi ako kikita sa isang investment ko with that type of company, pero yung portfolio ko would look better if that company is something I invested in. So kapag pinresent ko yung portfolio ko sa ibang mga tao, I can network with people with that kind of portfolio leveraged. Lalo na kung yung portfolio na yun can actually get me into doors, di ba? Into conversations, into connections, na yun yung starting point. No? So strategic investors don't invest mainly for the money. The money is like, ano lang yun, parang pangdagdag na lang, bonus na lang. They do it so they can strategically position themselves for something else. Yeah. Of course, depende sa'yo kung ano klase ng investors ba yung mas hinahanap mo yung kakausapin. Yeah. But yung safest is you accept outside capital kapag nakita mo na yung potential of your business flying. Okay? Yung strategic investors will invest. Okay? Madalas will invest even if wala ka pang evidence or track record of the business actually going well. Okay? Because it's a matter of strategy, not a matter of profits. So, yun.
Thank you, Kags. Tapos dun sa defining profitability, 3 to 6 months consistent revenue.
Depende. You can ask your mom about EBITDA. Alam mo na yun, alam mo na yun.
Earnings before income tax.
But ano siya, um, mahaba siyang conversation with the actual specifics. Eh. How can you be more investable as a company? That's like a longer conversation. May mga different checklists and criteria. Pero just with considering if ready na to accept outside capital, yeah, 6 months profitability is a good starting point. If you can have longer, kung nasa startup period ka, yes, 6 months. Kung lampas ka na kasi sa startup period like 2 years, iba na rin yung nagiging basis. Yan. So,
Thank you.
sige. Okay, so I'm just gonna move forward with questions na andito na. Okay? Hi, Coach. Ang galing nalaman ko uma-attend ka pala ng parenting programs. If you had a message for the world or for parents, what would it be? Okay. For parents mismo. Okay? You have to find a way to fuel your own dreams. Okay? Yung mga pangarap mo na hindi mo natupad, pero nagpapapansin pa rin sa'yo, sadya mo man o hindi sadya, ipapasa mo yung fulfillment niyan sa mga anak mo. At hindi mo yan laging mapapansin. Yung mga unfulfilled parts of your life, itatry mong i-fulfill through your offspring. Okay? It's not just a Filipino family-oriented culture thing. It's a universal thing. Okay? So kung gusto mong maiwasan yung damage sa relationship with your children at hindi nila ma-feel na ginagamit mo lang sila as extra pogi points ng life well lived, make sure hindi mo kinakalimutan yung pag-fulfill ng sarili mong dreams. Kasi lalabas at lalabas yung regret at frustration na yan and maipapasa mo yung burden na yan sa mga anak na supposedly meron dapat silang freedom to choose and to live and build their own life. Yeah. Message to the world eh. So, yun na yun. As a parent, main responsibility, like, ano ba yung mga pangarap mo? Lalo na yung mga pangarap na andyan pa rin, hindi nawawala. Let's find a way to make that work. Alam ko maraming pwedeng maging excuses para bitawan yan o hindi na ituloy. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na ano yun, na dahil mahirap, imposible na. Okay? There's always a process to get progress in that. Ayan. Ayan. Tinanong ko si ChatGPT kung ano pwedeng itanong. Okay. Given your interactions namin before, isa suggested niya, when I feel torn between service and sustainability, what internal compass can I build to make grounded decisions? Mukhang nag-resonate naman. Solid. Service and sustainability. So para sa ibang tao and then para sa sarili mo, needs. Okay. Now here's the thing. Etong mga gantong klase ng tanong, yung tipong, yung ibang tao, yung sarili kong pangangailangan. Okay? Nangyayari lang to kapag giver ka na. Okay? Ibig sabihin, mas marami kang binibigay kaysa bumabalik sa'yo. Okay? So kung hindi ka naman talaga naturally nagbibigay sa ibang tao, hindi to magiging problema. Hindi mo to ever maiisip. Okay? Na may conflict between sustainability mo and yung service mo sa ibang tao. Okay? So this is good, even great evidence na giver ka na generous ka na. Okay? Ang madalas sakit ng mga taong nagbibigay, pag nasanay ka magbigay, natatabunan nun yung ability mo na humingi. Okay? So kung sakaling may conflict between nagbibigay ka sa iba and then yung sarili mo pangangailangan, hindi mo naman kailangan bawasan yung pagbibigay mo eh. Kailangan mo dagdagan yung hingi mo. Okay? Madalas, what we're trying to do is, kung sino yung pinagbibigyan natin, ine-expect natin somehow na merong direktang balik yon sa atin. Okay? When in actuality, yung pagbibigay natin sa iba doesn't always come back to us directly. Merong iba't ibang ways na indirectly, okay? Or ripple effects yung pag-return sa atin ng resources. Example, tinulungan mo, hindi mo pinagbayad, okay? Pero may kakilala siya na kailangan yung ginagawa mo and then kayang bayaran yung service rates mo. Okay? So hindi kailangan direkta yung maging balik. Ano yung other indirect or ripple effects of the returns? That is something that we need to consider. Ibig sabihin, ang ask is, hindi bayaran mo ako. Pero ang ask is, may kakilala ka ba na kailangan yung services ko? Okay, that's just one layer, one example to this. Pero yun nga, kailangan matutunan humingi. Okay? At paano humingi. So kapag direkta lang yung hingi natin, madalas we'll be frustrated. Pero if marunong tayo humingi based on ano yung other resources and ripple effects, lumalawak yung opportunities for us na may ma-receive na pabalik. Yeah. Baka may follow-up questions, bato nyo lang. Dadaanan ko lang to lahat Like hanggang anong oras ba ako? Hanggang 6 yata. Anyway, okay. So ito, Kage, about Piggybank Adventure, can you expound on the save a minimum of 250K before 2025 ends? Meaning we have to save 31K per month with you until December to achieve this. Now here's the thing. Okay naman na reverse engineer natin yung numbers. And then madalas nga kapag nasa entrepreneurial or freelancing space ka, kino-compute natin monthly. Okay? That's a good evidence na karamihan sa atin sanay pa rin sa traditional path. Okay? Kasi ang sweldo natin sa corpo, kinsenas katapusan, no? Pero basically iniisip natin month-on-month basis yung gastos. 'Di ba? Kasi yung bills natin, karamihan yan, especially for survival, every month yan naniningil. 'Di ba? Meralco, tubig, tapos wifi, 'di ba? Grocery, depende, pwedeng every 2 weeks, ganyan. Pero it goes to show na a lot of us, when we think na naka-monthly yung pag-stagger natin ng mga computations, it comes from the traditional corpo mindset. Hindi masama, okay? Pero yun yung nakasanayan. Okay? Here's the thing, when you enter into entrepreneurship, okay, the main difference is, or when you're even you're just a person, kahit non-entrepreneur, pero you want to set a tone for better finances, okay, you have to think in flexible timelines, hindi lang monthly. So paglaruan mo lahat, yung annual, yung quarterly, yung monthly, yung weekly, you can reverse engineer in whatever way possible, pero wag kang ma-stuck in a monthly lang. Okay? Because there are things, especially kapag entrepreneur ka, na it takes time to build. Okay? I'll give you some stats. Yung mga potential clients na aware na sa problema nila, they become ready to buy a solution to their problem within 2 to 5 months time of knowing ano ba yung problem nila. Okay? So hindi sila instant buyers. That's 80% of the market. Okay? So kung 10 yung kausap mo, okay, yung 8 doon, hindi pa yun magde-decide agad. So mas marami kang makakausap throughout your entrepreneurial like journey na mas hindi pa ready ka agad bumili sa'yo. Okay? And yung mga ready bumili, hindi naman ibig sabihin sa'yo rin talaga agad bibili. Okay? 80% become ready to buy between 2 to 5 months time. Okay? Which means, kaya mo ba na makipagkaibigan and mag-build ng relationship and mag-offer ng tulong sa isang person for 2 to 5 months kahit wala pa talaga kayong engagement at hindi pa sure na sa'yo siya bibili. Okay? Some things take time and there's statistics to prove that. Okay? So, pwedeng wala kang ipon for the first 2 months and then what if on the 3rd month tsaka ka palang magkaroon ng opportunity to get better income? Di naman ibig sabihin na kailangan yung ipunin mo is worth 1 month lang. Kung kaya mo naman na mag-ipon ng worth more than just 1 month. Because it depends on the cash flow. Okay? But yeah, that's one way we can look at this. Yung ipon is a byproduct of your income generation. So, if income generation improves, ipon can actually improve. That's still a choice, pero yeah, mag-related yung dalawa na yan. Okay. How did you discover your ikigai? Like, how did you realize that this is the career path / business that you want for yourself? Been doing some experimentation, so I'm curious about your thoughts on finding your ikigai or career path. Now, here's the thing. Yung concept ng absolutes, kunyari yung ikigai, ang dating kasi pag nahanap mo na siya, it's a forever thing. Okay? But I talk to people more successful than me. I talk to people happier than me. I talk to people na mas hindi inaaway ng asawa than me. Okay? So, I found that flexibility, okay? Flexibility or yung allowing yourself to evolve over time, yun talaga yung mas nag-create ng space for better success, better happiness, and better relationships. It's the single most constant thing. So, all these stuff like ikigai, personality tests, mga stuff na yan, they place us in boxes. Okay? Wherein andyan na yung absolutes. Yes, it looks clear, but it eventually becomes a trap. Kasi baka nag-shift na yung season mo, baka may iba na pala na kailangang mangyari, baka may mga nagbabago na talaga sa desires mo, pero nakakulong ka pa din dun sa box based on results of whatever. Okay. So it's not that I don't believe in ikigai, pero I don't believe in the way that we're pursuing how to actually clarify it. Ikigai can still evolve over time. So yung idea dito is, ang pinakamalalim is who you are. Right? Like yung what you love to do, mas pwedeng magbago yun. Yung ano yung ambag mo sa mundo, di ba? Mas pwedeng magbago yun. Saan ka magaling, mas pwedeng magbago yun. Okay? Pero yung who you are is the core of what you do, what you love, what you do best, what you love, and how you serve. Okay? So as long as clear ka sa kung sino ka at any season of life, okay lang na mag-shift kung ano pa yung ibang factors. Yeah. So I have this thing, it's a program, it's called Fourth Gear. It is dubbed as the Pareto of self-awareness. So the 20% na kailangan mo discover sa sarili mo, and kapag malinaw na yun sa'yo, you get up to 80% of your potential in life. So that's the Pareto principle. 20% of effort produces 80% of results. So meron lang 20% of who you are na kailangan mong ma-discover and i-reinforce in your life, and that helps you achieve a lot more. Okay? A little bit of marketing rant. A lot of yung mga gantong concepts that puts us in absolutes, it's because they want to sell you something. Yeah. Kasi kapag naka-box ka into something, mas madaling ibenta yung thing na yun plus lahat ng upsells included to that. So yeah. Right. Pag nasa now mode na, what patterns require immediate actions? Dalawa lang yung naglalaro. So yung isa is something to fix. Yung tipong kapag hindi mo inayos, magka-crumble down lahat at hindi ka makakapag-build. Okay? So that's a very much needed focus now. Yung tipong malala na kasi to eh. Pag di mo to binanatan right now, gugulo lang lalo lahat. Di ka makakabuelo, di ka makakapag-build ng anything else. Okay? That's one primary focus in the now. Kung wala namang ganun na talagang very much needed to fix, ano yung leverage point? Ano yung kapag tinutukan mo ngayon, mas dadali yung iba pa? Ano yung kapag nag-focus ka doon ngayon, in-improve mo yun, mababuy back mo yung time mo, mababuy back mo yung energy mo. Kumaga sulit. Okay? Malilesen yung effort mo o may mga bagay na hindi mo na kailangan kapag nag-work ka with that specific area. So dalawa lang yung tinitingnan natin. Yung something that is falling apart and needs fixing, and then something na pwede nating i-leverage. Okay? Madalas we will be distracted by other pursuits na hindi ganun kalaki yung ambag sa buhay. Hindi naman ibig sabihin mali yung mga yun. Okay? Pero if we can sit down and think, what are the things that are really falling apart? If I'll be honest with myself, the things that really need fixing. Yung pag hindi ko inayos, lalala yung buhay ko talaga. Okay? And then, ano yung mga bagay na pag in-improve ko to ngayon, like, mas malaki yung magiging balik sa akin. Kapag tinutukan ko to ngayon, like, I'm gonna be so much happier, I'm gonna be so much wealthier, and whatever other benefits. Okay? What would you recommend as the first system or habit to build for someone who's trying to stabilize income while working online? Yay! So, daily movement. Daily movement, promise. Before ka pa tumunganga sa laptop and umupo dyan all day, make sure you are moving. Okay. We underestimate yung health, lalo na kapag mas bata pa tayo. Ako, I've learned that lesson the hard way. Okay. And even relearning that pa rin on a daily basis. Movement talaga. If you can take care of like as much movement as physical movement as possible. Okay. It doesn't have to be in the gym. Just 15 to 30 minutes of movement in a day. Okay. Ito yung isa sa mga underrated na bagay when it comes to transitioning to something. Okay. Mas nakakapag-transition ng career, ng love life, ng lilipatan na bahay, ng whatever pa. Okay? So, when you're transitioning into something, when there's a big change in your life, if you deduct or alisin mo yung exercise sa buhay mo, you're gonna be more unstable. Okay? Guess what? Ano yung number one tip for people with mental health issues? Exercise. Okay? We just underestimate it. Okay? But it's there all along. So, kung kailangan mong maghanap ng kasabay mag-exercise, kung kailangan mong bumili ng equipment, kung kailangan mong mag-set ng routine and like read books on this, like spend time on it. Like, what's your daily movement routine? You either make that a warm-up before you start your day, or you make that like something to do to cap your day off. Either way, yeah, you can get daily movement sorted out. Okay. Next. Okay. How to move forward when perfectionism or resistance paralyzes your progress. Perfectionism is actually a lack of targets. Okay? So yung idea is, hindi pa to tapos. Hindi pa to perfect. Okay? Mukha siyang meron kang binibuild na something. Kasi nga, ini-improve mo talaga siya or gusto mo before mo siya i-present as an output, di ba? Kailangan pulido na siya. Pero it's actually just a lack of targets. Coming from a fintech background, because I'm a business consultant in that area, meron kaming tinatawag na MVP. Okay? So that's the version of a product we're putting out in the market na hindi pa talaga siya, I mean, depende. Hindi pa siya ganun alam mo yung yung nanay ni Miguel Tan Felix na okay na to, ganun. Okay? So, ganun siya na version. Perfectionism is buying into the illusion of I can still improve this. When in actuality, it's just you can't decide ano na yung okay right now. Okay? So it's overthinking based on potential, not necessarily deciding on what's useful in the moment. So yeah, it's actually something you can set up. Now, what's a first draft version? What's a second draft, di ba? Or you can have someone else set the targets for you. At yung tao na yun, business partner man yan, jowa, ganyan, hindi mo maihindian. Yung tipong pag sinet yung parameters na yun na yun. So kahit alam mong kaya mo pang higitan yun na may improve ka pa, hindi. Kailangan mo muna magpasa ng output for that specific target. So meron ka ng output. Hindi it's all inside your head. Hindi it's all in limbo. Okay? Hope that helps. Baka may follow up pa dyan. So, can passion, profit, and purpose coexist? Grabe naman mga tanungan dito, ang lalalim, no? How do I pursue purpose and passion if I'm lacking funds and trying to build profit? Hindi lahat ng pursuits natin will be equally profitable. Kailangan matanggap na natin yun. Okay? Opportunities have a ceiling. Okay? And minsan yung thing that we're passionate about, may hit natin yung ceiling kagad ng opportunity na yun. Way earlier. Okay? So even if sobrang passionate ka in something, if yung opportunity ceiling with that is mababa, you can't make more money beyond that ceiling. Okay? Example, nung pandemic, yung hospitality industry, bumagsak. What if passionate ka talaga in like that industry? Kailangan mong tanggapin na walang pera sa industriya na yun at that time. So hindi ka pwedeng basta maningil ng malaki. Diba? There are things outside of our control when it comes to the trends and the markets, but we need to know ano yung condition ng isang opportunity that we're trying to build, be it with passion or profit. Asan yung ceiling ng opportunity? Okay? Kasi pipilitin lang natin kapag di tayo aware sa kung hanggang saan yung ceiling of opportunity there. Okay? You can talk to a lot of people na nandun na and have taken further steps than you in building within that specific opportunity before mo itodo yung sarili mo with that. Okay? The thing is, pwedeng mag-coexist yung profit, yung passion, tsaka yung purpose. Pwede. Okay? But, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Kasi, passions can shift. Profitability, nag-shift yung markets. Yung purpose mo, pwede pa rin magbago. So, merong mga tao akong nakilala na miss out na nila yung alignment ng passion, profit, and purpose nila. Kasi nag-go sila beyond pa a specific point. Kumbaga, they kept chasing for something. Hindi nila na-realize na nag-align na pala at a specific point na nasa okay na sila na profitability, and then they loved what they do, and then they feel na it's aligned with like a greater mission, vision, and purpose. So here's the thing. Pag sinabi ba nating profit, because this is the usual trap, pag sinabi ba nating profitable, kailangan 8 figures. Pag sinabi ba nating profitable, di ba, kailangan bilyonaryo ka. Okay? Because most people that I talk to, like way more successful than me, okay, ang usual na nagiging trap is the money side of things, the profitability side of things. Ibig sabihin, they already have more than enough money, okay, pero they, for some reason, continually chased the profitability at the expense of yung passion and purpose. Pero in hindsight na lang nila napansin. Some of them can scale back. And then nagbitaw talaga. There's other coaches, influencers, and some mga ganyang story na parang ang laki na ng money side pero na-burnout na. Diba? And eventually, na-burnout sila, nagkaroon sila ng reset, nakita nila ngayon na, okay na pala ako kahit ganito yung kinikita ko. Pero feeling ko, I love what I do and at the same time, purposeful siya. Okay? So yeah, putting that into metrics will help. Pero that's something to discover pa. Ano yung timpla? Madidiscover mo lang yung tamang timpla kapag nandun ka na sa mismong game eh. Pero to prepare better, look at other people's journeys muna as a reflection point. Yeah. Mukhang tama, hindi ako marunong humingi. Ito yung kanina. Yeah, gotta ask bro. Gotta ask. Who you are is what you do best, what you love to do, and not necessarily. These are, kumbaga, what you love to do, what you do best, and ano yung sinasolve mo in the world for others is a reflection of who you are. Okay? Pero hindi lang yun yung only layers of who you are. Okay? Yeah. Asking for a friend. Anong mas importante? Good product or good salesman? Depende sa ano. Depende sa timeline ng results na trip mo. Okay? So a good salesman can pre-sell a product kahit hindi pa existing yung product na yun. Okay? Daming gumagawa yan. Nagpe-pre-sell ng libro, pero isusulat pa lang yung libro, di ba? Nagpe-pre-sell ng program, pero gagawin pa lang yung program. Nagpe-pre-sell ng mga lip tint, di ba? Pero dinedecide pa ano yung mga kulay ng lip tint. Nagpe-pre-sell ng pabango, kahit i-formulate. So pwede yan eh, pre-selling. You can actually get a lot of interest na marketing and stuff. That's a good salesman. Okay? You can harness demand for something just by creating an image of what people will get out of paying you for something. Okay? Now, after the pre-selling period or after the initial set of sales, that's where you get the feedback. Okay? That's where you get the reviews. That's where you get ano ba yung naging experience talaga of the actual customers and clients. So ang usapan na is sustainability. Okay? A good product is more sustainable. Okay? So it's a long term. It's a long game. So a good product keeps you profitable long term. A good salesman can inject profit into your business in the short term. So, yeah, if ikaw yung klase ng entrepreneur na naghahabol sa pera lang ngayon, then probably ang i-develop mo is just good salesmanship, di ba? Pero if you are a person who wants sustainability, then you're gonna work on better product design and market fit. Gosh, merong example na lang e-commerce versus fintech. E-commerce, ang bilis ng switch ng trends eh. Diba? Pag nag-viral yung isang walis na kulay violet, lahat magbebenta ng walis na kulay violet. Diba? with fintech, especially with SaaS and stuff, it's users eh. Tapos ang target mo, monthly recurring revenue. Diba? Magkaiba na kagad yung language eh. Sa e-com, mag-ads tayo. Sige, like i-pump natin tong tong product na to. And then, itong month na to, ito yung sales namin. Like 8 figures, 9 figures. Itong month na to. Okay? With fintech, ang usapan is, okay, in the next 12 months, magkano yung kikitain natin per month? Okay, sige, that's the strategy. Sige, set na natin yan. Di ba? Very different conversations, very different types of entrepreneurs, very different timelines. So, ang sagot doon, great product or great sales, well, depende sa trip mo. But you can always have both rin naman. Bakit hindi? parang may okay ka na product, and then, mas masaya ka lalong ibenta yun ng tuloy-tuloy kasi it's really good. Ayun. Right. Gosh, I have 24 minutes pa. Parang onti na lang tanong nyo. Nag-dopamine detox ka ba? If yes, paano mo siya ginagawa? Actually, at this point in my life right now, I follow the dopamine. Sorry, pero yung talaga honest answer, I follow the dopamine. The difference kasi parang ano ba? There are things we love to do and there are things we need to do. Diba? So meron mga bagay na kailangan lang eh. Diba? Pero pag pinabayaan natin yung kailangan nating gawin, then we don't really get a chance to do the things we love to do. Okay? For a long time in my life, I did a lot of the things I needed to do. So that right now, I'm in a season na I can do more of what I love to do. Meron pa rin need. Pero a lot of the things I'm doing right now, yeah, it's for dopamine. And then, ina-align ko na lang yung mga kino-connect ko na lang yung mga bagay na yun into something useful. Ganun. So yung detox na side. Most people don't need to do it. Most people don't need to do it. Ang mas kailangan mo is, hanap ka ng something worthwhile para sa'yo. Hanap ka ng something na worthwhile para sa'yo. Yung tipong, sobrang worthwhile niya, kakainin niya yung leaks sa time, energy, and attention mo para sa iba pang mga bagay na hindi ganun ka-importante. Okay? What's that? At least one thing na super worthwhile for you, mauubos yung panahon mo sa ibang mga bagay na hindi ganun ka-importante. For me kasi that's entrepreneurship. just different shapes and forms. And syempre napapagod pa rin ako and stuff, so I had to navigate through that and mental health issues. Pero entrepreneurship is the longest game na worthwhile for me. Ang goal ko is to, yun nga, to find a game that I enjoy playing so much that I can share it with others so they can play it too, and we can all play that game for the longest time possible until our last breath, if that's applicable. Entrepreneurship na yun for me. Yung pagnenegosyo na yun para sa akin. So nahanap ko siya para sa akin, so sinishare ko siya sa iba para mas marami akong kalaro. Does that make sense? Yeah. Tapos kung mas marami kami pwedeng maglaro sa mas matagal na panahon, lahat panalo. Anyway, there's a version of that for your life. There's a version of that for every person's life. Yeah. So hindi ko sinagot yung tanong mo. Binigyan kita ng alternative. Huwag ka na mag-dopamine detox. Find something more worthwhile than anything else. Anong stance mo sa money can't buy happiness? And yung current consensus ng most people na money does buy things that make people happy. Mas nakaka-travel, shopping, buy experiences, etc. I wish lahat ng tao sobrang yaman na. Yung tipong hindi na natin problema yung pera talaga. One of a good friends, si Nikki Jurado. Ngayon, Nikki Jurado Mansilla na. So, si NFG, Nomad Finance Girl. Isang question niya sa audience niya is, what would you do if money was not an issue? Okay? Which is a good hypothetical question. Kung hindi mo na pinoproblema yung pera, okay? Anong gagawin mo? Okay, what would you do with your life? Okay? My wife actually, sinagot niya yun sa one time. Sabi niya, sinabi niya, alam mo ba ba't kita hinahanapan ng issue? Sabi ko, bakit? Kasi sabi ni NFG, what would I do if money is not an issue? Sabi ko, ha? So hinahanapan mo ng issue kasi hindi na natin problema yung pera. Medyo nakakatawa yun, di ba? Pero actually, that's what happens. Kapag may pera ka na, lalabas na yung iba mo pang problema. Okay? Kasi hindi mo na problema yung pera eh. So may panahon ka na ngayon na problemahin yung iba pang mga problems na nagtatago sa buhay mo. Okay? So pag wala ka pang pera and yung survival mo is at stake, yun talaga yung kailangan mong problemahin kasi kailangan mo mabuhay. Pero pag more than enough na yung money that you have, I tell you, lilitaw lahat ng mga issue na nagtatago sa buhay mo. And minsan it can be overwhelming. And money can be helpful up to a certain extent. Pero marami rin sa mga issues na lilitaw cannot be solved by money alone. So itong money can't buy happiness or money can buy other stuff that can help with happiness. Ang happiness is rooted in your experiences in the moment. Okay? When the moment passes by, ano yung matitira? Okay? So money can buy experiences that you can enjoy in the moment. Pero what is left with you, okay, after that moment? So I would rather position or reframe it this way. Hindi siya about happiness, pero money can help you solve non-money issues. Okay? Kasi if you just use money to buy experiences that you can enjoy in the moment, pero you don't use it so that you can resolve other stuff pa in your life. Especially yung mga stuff na naipon noong mga panahon na wala pang pera sa buhay mo. Mas nagiging downward. So dalawa siya. Either nagda-downward spiral yung buhay natin, nagiging facade lang yung experiences natin. So parang yes, kaya ko na ngayon magbakasyon sa Japan at any point in time, pero hindi pa rin okay yung relationship ko with whoever. Okay. Kaya ko na ngayon, bibili ako ng sports car kasi yung self-esteem ko talaga sobrang baba. Okay. So nagiging pangtapal yung money can afford experiences dun sa other issues na we can also help address with intentional use of money. So yeah, yun tingin ko dito. Masyado siyang black and white kapag can't buy happiness lang and stuff. Pero quality of life yung usapan dito. Ang quality of life is not just about what you can afford in the moment and enjoy in the moment. It's yung overall. Lahat ng hidden parts included. Hindi yung observable lang both by you and the people around you. Yeah. Pwedeng podcast topic yan in itself. Pero I hope that makes sense. Okay, I have 16 minutes. How do you handle resistance? Like you know you should be doing something to progress in your business, but can't seem to do it. Okay. You need to know if it's a timing issue. That's one thing to look at. Okay. Meron kasing mga season ng buhay na pilit yung certain goals na i-achieve. Okay. And kapag hindi yun yung season para i-pursue yun, mas malaki yung resistance. So hindi siya nagre-resonate. Okay? Hindi mo lang siguro ma-pinpoint agad or ma-put into words, pero alam mo rin na hindi ito yung saktong season para gawin to for my business. Okay? Especially if scaling yung pag-uusapan, like exponential growth and stuff. Hindi every year is a year to scale. So may timing dyan. Okay? And minsan nililigtas na tayo ng sarili nating intuition. Yung resistance is a form of wala ka sa timing. Okay? So you gotta listen to that. Okay? Iba yung usapan kapag tipong 10 years na resistance pa rin. Okay? So, iba yun. Okay? If it's like through the years, tapos andun pa rin, hindi na siya shake off yung goal na yun, pero hindi ka lang makaprogress. Hindi, yun, kailangan yung kailangan i-uproot yung reason for that actual resistance. Okay? Pero if it's a seasonal thing, okay lang yun. You might be better off listening to the timing or the intuition with it. So, merong mga bagay na masyadong malaki. So, it's a matter of capacity. Okay? Or capability. Both. The idea is, yung bang tinatry mong progress, too big of a progress for you to accomplish kaagad. We naturally run away from hard stuff. We naturally don't like work. We naturally don't like change. Ayaw natin ng mga bagay na ma-effort. Nililigtas natin yung sarili natin sa mga bagay na nakikita natin na magiging stressful to, responsibilidad to, dami kong gagawin dito. Okay? So if you're aiming for too big of a progress, it looks like work instead of something you can ease into or even have fun with. So pag ganun yung issue, i-break down mo. Okay? So instead of trying to hit, let's say, 18 million in a year, okay? Pwedeng try ko muna na 180K in 1 quarter. Okay? It doesn't make sense. Kasi yung 18 million in a year, okay, pag dinivide mo yun sa 12, hindi, gawin ko na lang 12 million. So yung 12 million in a year, pag dinivide mo yun sa 12, 1M dapat yun per month. Ibig sabihin, yung 1 quarter, 3M dapat yung target mo. Kung bine-breakdown mo siya in a logical manner. Okay? Pero, kung mataas naman yung resistance na meron sa'yo, trying to hit 3M in a quarter, wala rin kwenta yung goal na yun kahit gano'n siya kalaki kasi hindi ka uusad. Okay? So redefine what progress is for you. Chunk it down if it's too big and you find the resistance is a natural thing na nangyayari because of the targets you have. Yung 180K na yun in 1 quarter, kahit sabihin natin na hindi siya 3M, at least umusad ka. Okay? And there's a sweet spot to resistance. You gotta find kung nasan siya. Okay? So the numbers are just an example. Mali ko ba kung yung less resistance mo is 2.5M, hindi naman 180K. Diba? So 500K short of what is logical if monthly mo siya i-divide. Pero still, 2.5M richer. Yung last thing dito is, yung environment mo ba is supportive or restrictive? Kasi pag napapalibutan ka talaga ng mga tao na, okay, hindi ko alam kung anong take nyo dito. Pero sa akin kasi, mas okay pa yung napapalibutan ka ng mga tao na kontra sa'yo kaysa mga tao na walang pake. Okay? Kasi yung mga tao na kumukontra sa'yo, pwedeng maisip mo pa na papatunayan ko sa inyong magiging matagumpay yung buhay ko tapos luluhod kayong lahat sa harapan ko. May ganun pa yun na aspect eh. Pero yung mga tao na walang pake, yeah. So, walang extra hugot sa buhay na maaapag. Of course, ideally, you can have people who's supportive, encouraging, like helpful para dun sa tinatry mong i-achieve. So kapag napapalibutan ka ng too much resistance in your environment, restrictive sila for progress. Yun yung isang factor. Malaking factor. Bakit? Natatranslate yung emotions na yun into resistance. Okay. So yeah, a few things to look at. I hope that helps. Okay, I have the last 10 minutes. Pang follow-up sa kanina Kage, how much should you allow selling your soul in expanding earning opportunities? Yeah, I kind of get it. Now, there's this thing I call the stepping stone mindset. Okay? The stepping stone mindset is, okay, alam mo yung ideal para sa'yo. Okay? But at the same time, wala ka pang opportunity na i-grab ka agad kung ano yung ideal. Okay? Now, what's the next best thing? Okay? So, pag nagpaka-perfectionist or idealistic kasi tayo, tinatry natin i-control lahat ng opportunities and kung meron kahit isa lang dyan na hindi pasok, then, X na kagad. Does it make sense? Okay? Progress, so success is basically continual progress. Okay? That's one of my most favorite test na quote right now. Success is simply continual progress. So if you watch out for opportunities kung saan ka magpa-progress, even if hindi yun yung perfect case scenario na opportunity, mas okay ka pa rin. Mas better off ka pa rin moving. Okay? Now, yung selling your soul na part, okay, that can mean iba't ibang mga bagay for different people, eh, di ba? How much should you allow it? If it feels like the opportunity you have right now ay hindi naman talaga stepping stone towards what is your ideal, lugi ka if you continually like spend whatever resources you have doon, especially long term. Okay? Yun na yung selling your soul na version of what I'm thinking about on a generic sense. Kapag hindi stepping yung pinagkakabalaan mo ngayon is not a stepping stone towards what you want. Kumbaga, temporary dapat siya, but at the same time makakatulong para pag nag-kick off ka from there, mas mapapalapit ka sa ini-aim for mo. Okay? Life, however, can also throw curveballs na minsan yung akala mong stepping stone lang, madidiscover mo na, ay, eto na pala yung gusto ko. O kaya na-enjoy ko pala to. Dapat kasama lang to sa plano, pero naging eto na yung goal. It can still happen. Okay? But, yeah. If you just need to watch out for kung ano yung gusto ko, tapos yung current na ginagawa ko, wala naman talagang ambag dun. In any way, shape, or form. Lugi kapag nag-stay ka ng long term. Yeah. Right. Okay. Na-realize ko, last month lang na wala ako masyadong sense of passage of time. Welcome sa pagtanda. Actually ako, hindi ko na alam. Thursday ba ngayon? O Thursday nga. Minsan I lose track of it. Na-realize ko lang through events. Pero kapag wala masyadong ganap, nasusurprise ako ilang linggo or months na pala ang lumipas. Okay. So, dapat ba mag-create ako ng events? Yes! Yes! So, nakaregister ako sa fun run ng November 30. May Taiwan kami na trip sa November. May December na event sa Visayas. May July na event sa CD, sa Cagayan de Oro. May Japan sa February next year. Gosh, I mean, mag-set ka lang ng something, hindi naman kailangan ma-fulfill. Pero alam mo yun, like, kailangan siya. Okay, kailangan siya. Even if you just put it on your calendar as part of intentions, hindi 100% ng sineset mo kailangan matuloy. Pero lang kung nag-book ka na kagad ng ticket at nangyayari lang yun pag may asawa ka. So, yeah, you need to curate experiences. Okay, that's one way to make the most out of life. So yung sa akin, wala rin akong masyadong sense of time. Probably because of ADHD. Pero aside from that, meron kasing other people in my life na nagiging anong tawag dyan? Pasimuno. Okay? Pasimuno ng mga bagay na nangyayari in my life spontaneously. Okay? So right now, ako, nagsiset ako ng mga stuff na longer term, like eventful. Dahil yung mga nangyari sa akin almost on a daily basis ay eventful na in themselves. Pero yeah, main suggestion here is set targets for creating your own stuff. Plan for your birthdays. Plan for Christmas. Plan for something with friends. Yan. Minsan magiging drawing yan, pero okay lang. Test it for yourself. The intentionality matters. Okay, I have one last question. Paano sumakses kahit mag-isa? I saw a post by someone who thinks na di siya successful because she does things alone. Di siya nakatira with others the same goal, same line of work. How effective kaya to if may change of environment? If this is the only thing, di ko pa nagagawa, hindi ko pa na-achieve yung gusto ko ma-achieve, is this the solution ba? Well, your definition of success evolves over time. Okay? And meron tayong mga shared goals. Usually time freedom, financial freedom, di ba? Good relationships, good health. Lahat naman yan automatic, subconsciously, we want those things. Okay? Pero yung mas personalized na definition of success, yun yung mga experiences of life that matters to you talaga. Okay? Now, dalawa yung layers ng success. Okay? Merong shared success wherein na-achieve mo na kung ano yung mga usual na gusto rin ng lahat ng tao. And then there's the personalized success wherein doon na nagkakatalo. Minsan, yung personalized success experiences mo, kahit hindi ka pa super successful sa shared success, pwede mo nang ma-pursue. Okay? Example, yung shared success mo, milyonaryo ka. Pero kahit 200K pa lang yung income mo, pwede mo na magawa yung ibang personalized success mo. Kunyari, personalized success mo, magdo-donate ka ng 25K sa animal shelter. Pwede mo na magawa yun at 200K, hindi mo na kailangan maging milyonaryo. Okay? The thing is, kapag hindi malinaw sa atin ano yung personalized success, okay, ang dating is kailangan ma-reach mo muna yung shared success bago mo fully ma-enjoy yung buhay. Doon tayo nagiging lugi. Okay? So kung malinaw yung personalized success, merong mga levels of shared success na pwede mo nang ma-pursue yung personal success. So you can build both. And you can build on top of both working together. So anyway, I guess that's it for our call. I hope you had fun with this whole thing. We'll probably do it at another point in May. Pero yeah, my inbox and my email is actually open for more questions like this. So nasa ano rin ako, nasa content creation era. Yan, para maging dedicated na tatay na ako. Tapos mabuntis na yung asawa ko, ganyan. Tapos doon na ako nakafocus. So gagawa na lang ako maraming content, di ba? So parang isang tanong, sagutin ko na, record ko na, and stuff. Tapos pahala na kayo na pag-usapan yun or kung may follow-up questions. Sabi ng EA ko, paplug daw nung Piggy Bank Adventure. Piggy Bank Adventure, it's a program I created to help people save. So nag-run siya this time from May until December. So kung gusto niyo ng Merry Christmas, tas nahihirapan kayo mag-ipon, then mag-ipon na lang kayo with us. Tapos we're gonna make sure you're also getting upgrades in your relationship with money. We have sessions, a community, knowledge base, activities, so you can improve in your ways of earning and asking and receiving and giving and all of these modes that we relate to money. Yun lang. 5,500 pesos yung enrollment fee doon. And it's gonna go up to 12,500 by next year's enrollment. Yun lang. Di talaga ako magaling sa marketing. So, yun na yun. Parang binato ko lang doon. Parang bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo kung pasok yun sa inyo o hindi. Yeah. So, yun. Anyway, that's it for our time. Maraming salamat. Take care. Picture pala muna tayo for remembrance. Grabe talaga pag may team ka, no? Parang i-remind ka ng iba-ibang mga marketing stuff. Yung talaga market. Okay, so if you can show up, let's take a picture for remembrance. Ayan. Yeah, umalis na yung ibang mga tao. Yes, hooray sa mga ayaw rin ng marketing. Okay, mabuhay tayong lahat. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture in 3, 2, 1. All good. Maraming salamat ulit and yeah, have a great Friday and weekend moving forward. Cheers.